Welcome please to the JVG podcast, where these G's are gonna spread their seeds of knowledge about the league. It's flourishing with these. These funny catchers seem to be well read, esteemed and honest. Like the man himself, Jeff Van Gundy. They are high IQ, so cerebral and funny. So if you're on the bus, just border on the dunny. Listen to the
JVG NBA Tribute Show.
Hello and welcome to episode 131 of the Jeff Van Gundy NBA Tribute Show. My name's Marco, joined today by my good friend Lucas. Lucas, how are you?
I'm well, Marco. How are you?
Not too great, man.
Yeah,
not too great.
Feeling a little sick, you say?
I think I've been burning the proverbial candle at both ends.
Oh my god.
If you will.
Can relate, but go on.
With the work and the socializing and the hanging out and things of that nature.
Yeah.
I feel like I had a pretty chill weekend. Like, I went to a wedding. It was in Castlemaine, so I drove. I didn't drink too much. But like, fuck, man, it's like 9 hours of socializing. And then on Sunday we played lawn bowls.
Oh yeah.
Fantastic activity. Also very relaxing.
A good outing.
But I think despite all that, yeah, like doing 5 days of work, had a big weekend the weekend before that, and then like doing two full activities. Really takes it out of you, man, especially at my age.
Yeah, at the ripe old age of 26.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, bro, you got some shit in your teeth. You got a bit of parsley, coriander.
Fuck, it'd be parsley, yeah.
It's gone.
Thank God. Before the camera was rolling.
We just didn't have the cameras on. No, that's fair enough, man. I'm also feeling pretty run down.
Yeah.
I got pretty buckled on the weekend for the first time in a very long time.
Yeah, nice.
Actually, probably the first time since New Year's. I don't recall like going out drinking heavily since New Year's.
You were here a few times. At this
Oh,
house.
yeah.
That's different.
That was very different.
Yeah, we won't go into the details, obviously. This is a PG rated podcast.
It was different for all the wrong reasons. But yeah, I'm also feeling pretty. I just haven't caught up on sleep.
Yeah.
I keep doing this thing where I'll get to bed at like 7 or 8, and then I won't get to sleep until 11. But I've been watching YouTube for 3 hours, so I'm just up. I'm so up.
I think that's how I knew. We were having an off mic discussion about if I'm really sick or if I'm just I've willed myself into being sick so I can have a day off. Could be that still. But I went to bed at 10 last night, and I set my alarm to go to the gym in the morning because that's what me and Lucas do, is we go to the gym in the morning.
Yeah, bro. What time do you wake up?
It was like 6:30.
Bang, bro.
Yeah.
That's us.
Yeah. But I woke up at 6:30
rises.
and I was like, oh, I'm actually not feeling too hot, so I'm
Yeah.
not going to go to the gym. And then at 7:30 I was like, oh, I'm feeling awful actually.
Yeah.
So
I'm actually just sick.
yeah, I'm just sick, so I'm just going to stay in bed.
Yeah.
But yeah, lawn bowls, that was fun, man. And actually, it brings us to the sponsor of this week's episode of the JVG NBA Tribute Show, the Thornbury Bowls Club.
It is.
It's just their second membership level is the only one that we're sponsored by. $60 for the year.
Yeah.
You get unlimited access to the bowling greens.
Yep, unlimited rolls.
Unlimited rolls. You can book a spot on the barbecue. You get cheap pints. There's a whole lot of other benefits you can find out about on their website.
And we are excited to be brought to you by the Thornbury Bowls Club.
We're really excited.
That's the most thing, is that the excitement is palpable.
it's just we're bursting at the seams with excitement for that.
Yeah.
I really hope we're not actually accepting money for it, but maybe a $60 membership for free would be pretty nice.
That would be
for the both of us.
That would be very nice. It's like a launching off point. If you haven't really gathered yet, this is actually going to be a short one. On the agenda for today, we're going to have some WNBA movement, and then we're also going on the Deep 2 tomorrow for a four-man weave plus Marco minus Dante, and potentially plus Remy.
Yeah.
Have you met Remy?
Is.
Oh,
No.
okay. Because did you reply to my message in the chat? Hey, Marco, have you met Remy?
No.
Oh, okay.
I was sick today.
Remy's great. Remy's
Yeah.
really, really, truly a great person. And I'm excited for you to meet him. But we're going to talk more about the buyout market there tomorrow.
Yeah.
And we also have another thing planned, which will be a bit of fun to listen to and to be a part of. But today, we're going to mainly talk about WNBA transactions, and then also just the Clippers. I've got a few things I want to say about their recent moves, and maybe, and then also you wanted to talk about the All-Star weekend.
Yeah, or like the lack of...
or lack thereof.
lack thereof. Well, should we start with that? Should we go in the reverse order of how we announced it?
I like that. I like that. Snake order.
Snake order. You talk about it for 5 seconds and then you go in the other direction. That's so funny. So All-Star Weekend happened. Did you watch anything? Did you watch any of it?
I watched like probably a minute and a half. That's total time, not clock time of the All-Star game, and it was like, who's it for?
Yeah.
Like, who's it for? I saw the dunk contest. I liked Mac McClung was pretty good. Trey Murphy. Trey is more of a showman than I thought.
That was sick. He was Vegas odds bottom to win the contest, and I think Mac McClung was just actually a really good participant. Did some sick dunks, but he was just bringing that flair, the excitement, the theater of it all. Yeah.
And then I think also Jericho Sims balanced it out by still being watchable but trash.
Yeah,
like dunk 1, 1.5 honey dips. Dunk 2, 1 honey dip. I mean, so bad. I liked Tyrese Halliburton's first round of the 3-point throwout. And there are probably some other events in there I didn't catch.
Yeah, I didn't watch the skills challenge.
You missed it this year.
Jose hit the game winner in the Rising Stars challenge, I think they call it now. Which, again, we've discussed this off air. He tries so hard to be cringe, and he can't do it.
It's incredible. I'm sure that some people do find him cringe, but he should be by so far the most cringe entity in the NBA.
Easily.
He's not even top 50.
No way.
Yeah.
He does so many exact things that Patrick Beverley does. Yeah. And you're just like, man, you're just so cute though. I'm just so happy for you.
Yeah. Because there is a layer of authenticity about it, and he's just so appreciative that he's in the NBA, and you can see that. So I think that maybe his likability helps as well.
Yeah. That's it.
Yeah, but what were the other remarkable, notable, for all the right or wrong reasons from the All-Star Weekend?
Well, yeah, I mean, going back to the game, there's so many problems with it. There were some good moments, LeBron did a legitimate good alley-oop to himself. You know, that off the backboard one. I think it was it might have been around Tatum or something. He sort of looped the pass around a player and then got it with his other hand. Him and Jokic had some nice chemistry, and that was just oh, cool. Imagine if those guys were on the same team. That'd be sick. But then the rest of it was just people bricking deep threes.
Awesome.
No defense. The Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, wet every Boston Celtics fan's pants by going at it 1-on-1 for 2 possessions back to back. And it was sick. They both hit deep threes on each other and were actually playing defense on each other. But that was it. That was the only moment that anyone played any meaningful defense. And I think Jalen actually complained after the game. He's like, yeah, it was just it's just layup training, There's no point doing this if no one's going to play defense. But someone's got to start playing defense then. Is it the LeBron, Dame, Steph generation of players that are nah, we're too worried about getting injured, so we're not going to take this game seriously? Or is it just every single player involved in the contest in the All-Star game doesn't sort of want to risk getting injured or anything, so they're not willing to actually play basketball?
I think every single player, modern day player that I've seen in an interview, and even ex-players, they all say that by the time the All-Star game happens, they're just so tired from the whole week.
True.
Because it's supposed to be their week off.
Yeah.
And it's just work the entire week, and then you finally get to the game and you're like, oh my God, thank God it's over.
Yeah, true.
And then they're just too zonked. So I'll take if they're all saying it, then I'm going to have to take that for face value. But then also, shit, cat. Bite my fucking toes. Yeah.
Oh my God.
But to stay on course.
He really doesn't like Salt Lake City, man.
Fair. Pour one out for Donnie. Bugger. Oh yeah. So my question. So I think that if all the players are saying that, then that must be the case. Who's it for? What I said before. It's obviously not for the fans. It's not for the players.
Fans hate it.
Fans fucking hate it. The players all hate it. I need to know how much money the league's making, because that has to be the only reason they're still doing it.
They'd be selling tickets to All-Star Weekend, would be going for a pretty buck, because it's also like it's the event that all the celebrities want to go to as well. So like, you know, a front court for All-Star Weekend must be like $100,000 or something like that.
Yeah,
I would imagine. What if they had it? What if it was the first event of the weekend? Or would that ruin their
All-Star Weekend?
Yeah, the All-Star
the All-Star game.
Yeah, or would that ruin their sort of financial impetus for people to stick around?
That's a good question. But is the All-Star game why people are sticking around?
I don't know.
Because
I don't know why people are sticking around.
going into the week, everyone's like, is it going to be as shit as last year?
Yeah.
And that's the only thing that's kind of hype. And every year it's pretty bad. So maybe it'd be a good thing to put it at the front of the thingo.
When the players have a bit more energy, a bit more impetus. Or
yeah.
You know?
Yeah. But I'm also just like, don't play. Like, what's the point? Like, what like, it sucks. I hate it's so bad. You have all the best players in the same room and they don't want to play. Like, getting the recognition to be an All-Star, that's what matters.
Yeah.
The game, I don't have one good memory from an All-Star game.
But like, you know, you can go back, you can watch highlights from like 15 years ago, and even then they cared about it.
Yeah.
But was the All-Star Weekend just less of a big deal? Was there just less shit to do? Was there less media responsibilities and all that? Could it be like, I don't know. No, I hate that argument that the players like each other too much now.
Nah, I don't think it's that.
No
I
way.
think it is the media stuff. I also think that there would be some like social media stuff written into the players' contracts, so they're like never really off. Whereas I remember Shaq and Kobe talking about they were driving away from some opponent city. Maybe it was after the finals or something, and they fucking mooned them. Like they were on the team bus and they just pulled their pants down and showed their ass. Like, imagine if that happened today. Like there would be so many people having filmed that. And that would have been like 20 years ago. So I just think that if you could get away with that, then like the off-court stuff would be a bit less stressful back then.
Yeah, true.
And yeah, just the access we have now, like, fuck, man. Like, they interview head coaches on the way out from the halftime huddle.
Yeah.
They interview assistant coaches after the third quarter or something. But like, there's just so much access, and there's just like, there's never an off moment.
Yeah, and like Giannis had like 6 like social media soundbite moments over the weekend. So that means he was like at every event. You know, and they're like, hey Giannis, go out and talk to RJ. Like, hey Giannis, go out and do this, you know. Whereas I'm sure they'd rather just be in their hotel for like 12 hours a day or something.
Yeah, I just think they actually need time off.
Yeah.
LaMelo, who didn't attend All-Star Weekend, got 9 days off.
Yeah.
Which is like, that's like a month in the NBA season.
Legit. That would feel so good.
Yeah. And he had the best response to it. It was just like, I'm just so excited to spend time with my dogs and my family and my friends and shit. I love him.
Yeah. Well, mate, hey, what about make All-Star break longer? Like, make it 2 full weeks or something. So then have the weekend right in the middle, and it's just like, all right, cool. You're back at work for a little bit, but then you get like a proper holiday after.
Also, I didn't realize we're like 60 games through the NBA season. I thought it usually happened like 50 games through.
Where are we at the moment?
We're basically 60 games through.
Holy shit.
One team has played 60 games that I was looking at. I'm sure a couple have, but oh my god, the Clippers have played 61.
Wow.
And with recent additions like Nashon Bones Highland and Russell Westbrook, it brings me to the only thing I really want to say about the buyout market on this episode is that Los Angeles Clippers, you guys have had this like kinda semi-hole at point guard. You haven't really had a suitable point guard for a championship team. And you got fucking Bones Highland and Russell fucking Westbrook. Like, your point guard rotation looks like it does, and it's your fault. You have one top 60 point guard in the league. And, I mean, you can make the argument, there might not have been anyone out there. They also made a swing for Norman Powell last year that like could have easily been a package for a point guard.
Yeah.
They got a really serviceable center. Now a pretty good center rotation with Zubats and Plumlee. You got 2-star wings with Kawhi and Paul George. Your fucking backcourt is so bad. You're like, take your pick between Reggie Jackson and John Wall or Bones and Russell Westbrook.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter.
I think Terrence Mann is no knock to Terrence Mann at all, but he is the starting point guard for the Los Angeles Clippers now. And there are other options of Bones Highland and Russell Westbrook. I don't know what. Well, and Eric Gordon's there now as well, isn't he?
Yeah.
I don't really know what this what this swing is. Like, I don't know how these guards are a better fit than the other guards that they had. Like, you know, I know Reggie Jackson's kind of been having a couple off seasons. It has been a couple, but like,
he's just had an off career.
But I don't know. I think when Kawhi and PG are healthy, he's actually like a really good fit next to them. And so it just seems strange that these are the guards that you're going after, like you're saying. I think the Norman Powell thing's like, maybe unfair is not the right word, but they got Robert Covington in that deal as well.
Oh, true.
Like, that was a really good trade they made. Portland is so stupid. I feel like every Portland deadline trade is like, why'd you do that, man? But yeah, I do agree with you. I don't get the swing here.
That does sound like it was like a knock on Norman Powell.
Yeah.
It was more a knock on the Clippers for like, he didn't fill a position of need. I think they made a great trade. Like for sure, the Clippers made a great trade in that trade, getting in Powell and Covington. They haven't addressed the point guard thing though, and it's like, how can healthy Kawhi and PG, can that be enough to stymie? I'm probably going to say that Bones is better than Westbrook, and I really hate saying that.
It's crazy.
I mean, no, I don't hate saying that because Westbrook is awful, but like, Bones is is he actually your number one option at the point guard?
I think it's Terrence Mann. I think that's it.
Who is listed as a shooting guard.
Yeah, but this is what I mean. I think I don't think signing Bones or Russell Westbrook really changes that situation.
Yeah, okay, that's fair.
I think they're the backups behind him. I don't know where they see Russell Westbrook in this rotation. Like, because Russell Westbrook's best minutes in LA came with LeBron on the court. Like, I think statistically, maybe, you know, in terms of plus minus, how well the team actually did, not in terms of if he got a near triple-double or not. He was so bad with their second unit because it was like, oh yeah, that means he's running every offensive play. So like, what minutes are you playing him in? Like, you playing him with Kawhi and PG? Do they need a Russell Westbrook style point guard to like improve their game to open up the floor for them a bit more? I don't think so. So I don't know. Is this just literally another franchise making the same mistake straight away, being like, oh, it's Russell Westbrook. Like, we'll be able to do something with him.
Yeah, I think it is another franchise making that mistake. And Bones, in your short 2-game career at Los Angeles, you're getting your role is smaller than it was in. So there you go.
True. God, and like it could have been at least the same size.
Yeah, on a better team.
Yeah. I'm trying to find. There was a good tweet about the Russell Westbrook trade. That's that. Have you ever watched Arrested Development?
Oh no, not. I don't reckon I've watched an episode, but I would have watched 5 minutes here and there.
Yeah. No, there's just a thing about like two of the characters talking about like opening up their marriage, and they're like, well, you know, like, has it saved any other marriages? And the guy's like, no, never. It never works out for anyone. It always like ends in disaster. But I think we might be the exception. And yeah, that's Russell Westbrook.
Nice. What else are we going to talk about? Oh, now we can pivot over to the WNBA.
To the good league.
WNBA. Where the
league that has a good All-Star game, by the way.
Oh my God. Remember the 3-point contest like 2 years ago? I can't remember who was in it, but like there were 4 players and they were just fucking all lights out. I think that was the best 3-point contest I've ever seen.
Was it Ali Quigley?
I think she won. I think Quigley won.
But she had like a near perfect like contest, not just like a perfect round. Like she missed like 2 shots the entire time.
No, it wasn't that.
Was it?
I think she missed 4 in the. I think she might have missed like 4 and 4 or 3 and 4, which is insane when it's like 27 shots.
Yeah.
And someone from New York had a really good one as well. It could have been Whitcomb. It could have been Sammy Whitcomb.
She had 30 points in her 4th victory. And she had
Quigley.
And she had a perfect final rack. That was. I remember she was like not quite behind, but like a little bit behind. And she just like bang, 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 bang.
That was insane.
Hit the money ball.
But as for transactions, where we left off, I think the next transaction on our run sheet that we had on our agenda a couple of weeks ago, but never got to, was the Marina Mabrey trade. So we kind of kept you all updated until then. But picking up from that point, Marina Mabrey was traded to Chicago in a deal that saw Diamond DeShields go to Dallas, Michaela Onyenwere go to Phoenix, and then New York was in the trade, and I think they were just dumping capital.
Yeah, they lost the salary of Onyenwere,
Yeah.
and then Chicago sent out a lot of picks to like I think basically everyone got a pick of some sort from them. I think Phoenix got a couple of seconds, Dallas got this year's first, and I think New York might have. Oh no! New York just got a second. Yeah. Dallas got 2 firsts basically. Yeah, for their trouble.
Yeah, and they got Diamond DeShields. Now, I wrote about Dallas. We talked about Dallas. We didn't talk about Chicago. I wrote about Chicago's off-season being a bit weird. Bringing in a couple of guards, and now they've brought in another guard in Marina Mabrey. And I think that she's great. I think that Dallas should have actually kept her and traded Arike Ogunbowale. But I think that, in terms of... They went with the guard. They made a logical decision in okay, we have these 2 great backcourt players. We maybe need to upsize one of them. I think Marina Mabrey is a better player than Diamond DeShields, but I think Diamond DeShields at least gives them more of a wing threat and a bit more of a scorer and creator, not really in a playmaking sense, but in just more of she can cause breakdowns a little bit more than Marina Mabrey. So I think this is a pretty good dealing by everyone involved. And New York's involvement is obviously kind of just making financial space for Vandersloot and Brianna Stewart, who we have talked about.
Yeah. No, I like this. I think Chicago are in a real weird position because they've lost 5 of their 6 best players. They've lost
something like that.
Vandersloot, Candace Parker, Emma Meeseman hasn't signed anywhere.
Yeah, she still hasn't signed.
But I don't think she's going to sign with Chicago.
Neither.
And then Ali Quigley's taken the year off.
Yeah.
And then Azrae Stevens is gone as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. This looks like a team that should sort of be trying to get a little bit of youth and draft capital. I think Mabrey's good because she's 26. Yeah. And she's going to have a lot more freedom in this team. I think she'll be the offensive engine of this team.
Of Chicago?
Yeah.
I'd say Cayla Copper still.
Yeah, but I think Copper's I think Mabrey's going to be the playmaker of this
okay,
team.
that's fair.
She's going to be she's kind of filling in a little bit of Sloot's role, a little bit of Quigley's role. But you'd think that this team should sort of go into a rebuild if you're losing this much talent in one hit. But yeah, I think James Wade has just tried to make this team competitive every year he's been coached. I think it's his 4th or 5th year with Chicago. And basically every year they've been we're going for the finals.
Yeah.
And I think this is kind of a weird roster to be rolling out if that's kind of your intention. I don't think they're quite good enough. But then I think this brings us to the broader question of what does every team in the WNBA do now that Liberty and Aces are doing what they're doing?
Yeah.
Are you kind of just taking a bit of a shot with players who maybe have a lot of potential, haven't gotten to realize their potential completely, and just hoping that you can, knock one of them off in a playoff series? Is that how you approach being a successful team in the WNBA this season?
Yeah, I think of all the other teams in the league, the Sparks are the only ones that have really done that well. Whereas the Sky have just kind of really just built their backcourt. And then the rest of the roster is I don't want to say it's an afterthought, but it hasn't been built out that in a very ideal way.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know, because they also brought in Courtney Williams, who is 28 or 9. She's not old, but she's not young.
Yeah, and she's very much not a win now player, but I think you could just put her into any sort of contending team and she'd do what she does. Yeah.
You know what she looks like.
Yeah.
I don't think that's really changing.
Yeah.
And I got their depth chart up right now. Oh, and that's another thing. Julie Alamand another Belgian, who played for Chicago the last few years, backed up Courtney Vandersloot, is also not going to be with the team in 2023.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And it was probably breaking for her that she would be the starting point guard, but she wants to play for Belgium. She wants to focus on playing for Belgium, potentially in the Eurobasket, hopefully.
Potentially.
But they have actually made a couple of other signings, Marco. Did you know?
Oh, I didn't know. There was one that I was just waiting for you to announce.
Yeah. Well, they brought in an Australian, Alana Smith, on a 1-year contract, who I'm looking at RotoWire's depth chart. They have her in the forward section, where I was firmly under the belief that she would have been a center. And they also have Isabel Harrison as the starting center, and I was also under the belief that she would have been a forward.
Yeah.
However, they also signed one Anneli Maley to a training camp contract, who they also had last year on a training camp contract, and potentially played 4 games for them last year. Yes, my memory does serve me correctly. Shot a whopping 66.7% from 3 in that season.
Look at that. That's two of 3.
Yeah, and counting. And yeah, fucking great news for Anneli Maley and any Anneli Maley fans and Australian basketball fans. But we have at least one Aussie on this team this year in Alana Smith. And man, if I was running Chicago, I would be retaining as many young pieces as possible. So I'm pretty hopeful for Anneli Maley that she gets that she might get picked up, or that she would get picked up for this team.
Yeah. No, I think she's like a very good fit there. Like, especially if you're sort of willing to. I mean, this is the question though. Are they willing to take a step back in terms of how good they are? I think they're going to have to, whether they like it or not.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think this is the perfect team for her. There's going to be a lot of wing minutes, that she can fill. She's so versatile as well. And yeah, like, I think playing with like exciting younger player like Cayla Copper as well. I think I really hope they retain her. Like, I kind of can't see a reality where they don't.
Neither. And on RotoWire's depth chart, she is the dead last forward. And also the least established player on the current.
But we know how good she is.
Yeah, on the current Sky roster. But yeah, after her 2022, she's trending upwards in like so exponentially as well. She's having like a down year in the WNBL compared to last year, and she's still one of the best players in the league.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think because for Bendigo, she's like a 4. And I do think she can play the 4, but I think she'd probably more suit a 3.
Yeah.
Playing the 3, potentially even the 2. Because even though she's a great rebounder, she still doesn't have that bulk that I think will come like later in her career.
She's got that like guard rebounding mentality where like she's not standing under the ring boxing people out. Like she's getting it and then starting the break.
Yeah, and I think that'll suit Chicago.
Yeah. In
like both ways. Like she'll suit them and they'll suit her for those reasons. It'll be a symbiotic relationship.
Very nice.
In that way. So yeah, fucking great news for Anneli.
Yeah. I really hope they retain her.
Hopefully she does.
Yeah.
And then that fucking card of yours just
skyrockets in value.
Jinx.
So, where do we want to go to next from here? Should we talk about what's going on in Phoenix?
We should talk about what's going on in Phoenix. Do you want to take that, or shall I?
The big core news here is that 2 franchise favorite players, Diana Taurasi and Brittney Griner, have both re-signed with the Mercury. DT signed a 2-year deal. I think it's just below the Supermax. It's like $6,000 below the Supermax. Or something weird.
That's insane.
A 2-year deal and we'll see her be 43 at the end of this contract. Griner signed a 1-year deal and to a massive pay cut as well. I think it's like $160,000.
Oh wow!
Yeah. Oh, that's how they're reporting it currently. What do you make of this? $165,000. There we go.
It does now feel like it was inevitable, and they were waiting for Matt Ishibia to buy the team. He kept quite busy. As soon as he bought both the Phoenix Suns and the Phoenix Mercury, he made that deal for KD. So I think there were just a lot of moving parts.
Yeah.
And the Taurasi and Griner deals, I think it's fair enough to say that they fell to where they fell to, being that who was the old owner? The fucking weird guy.
Oh my god, we
God.
spent so much time talking about him.
Oh my god.
No. Robert Sava. Yeah.
He wasn't going to sign them.
No.
He was obviously not going to make any moves for either the Sun or the Mercury. And then, I mean, if you're going to trade for KD, that's... I don't care what job, what field you're in.
Yeah.
If signing KD, even if you fucking work for a big four, if you work for a bank and signing KD is the next thing on the agenda, fair enough that's the next thing you do. And then, the dust settles from that. A week later, he re-signs Taurasi and Griner. And then they also re-signed Shea Petty. And they also re-signed Sophie Cunningham pretty recently as well.
Yeah.
So it's kind of getting the band back together. They traded away Diamond to Shields in that trade where they acquired Michaela Onyenwere. And it seems as though Skylar Diggins-Smith might also be going elsewhere. Not exactly sure where.
Yeah.
But it seems like she has a foot out of Phoenix. But I think Skylar Diggins-Smith was kind of the third of that big three. And I'm just excited to see Taurasi and Griner playing together.
Yeah.
Like, they're so good. The last time they were both playing in those playoffs, they made the finals and lost to Chicago.
Yeah.
And Griner was putting up like 20 and 10. And Taurasi had like some crazy playoff games. I think she had like 8 threes in a playoff game or something. And she also was either out last season with injury or they were just like not playing her, resting her. So I get the feeling she's going to probably come back better than she was last season. But
even DT last season, she was still averaging like, God, I had it up before, but
I remember it was like pretty good numbers on just bad efficiency.
Yeah, but like, putting up any sort of numbers like that at that age, and then sort of indicating that you want to come back and keep playing for another 2 years.
Damn fair.
16.7. Yeah.
Yeah, 16, 4 and 4.
Yeah.
And then actually it was a pretty good efficiency from 3. 34% is not too great, but 3 of 8.8
Yeah,
is
but also on a team that was like not
Yeah.
very good and was struggling for offense like all season long because what was Diggins Smith injured as well for part of the season?
I think she actually might have been, she was definitely inactive for a lot of the season, but I don't think it was an injury.
No, it was a thing.
It was like a off-court thing.
Yeah.
Probably to do with Sava.
Yeah.
Like also, yeah.
Yeah. Or the knock-on effect of that. So yeah, to be putting up those numbers on like pretty good efficiency on a team that at the end of the day like wasn't very good in the regular season. God, they're a fucking handful like in the playoffs.
Yeah, they didn't steal a game against you,
No,
but they
felt like they would though. Like, yeah.
They had a really good game against you, and I feel like Sophie Cunningham really like established herself.
Yeah, definitely.
As like you gotta like if she's your 4th best player, then you like. Which I reckon she will be this year.
She's such a playoff player. Like,
Yeah.
She's got size. She hits big shots.
Yeah.
She's just the perfect build for that.
Yeah.
What do you make of Griner just getting a 1-year deal and below the Supermax? Do you think there's nothing to really make there, or do you think they're kind of hedging their bets a bit? Like if she comes back a bit out of form,
I reckon,
or like because I feel like if she starts playing, she's like, nah, I can't do this. Like, I can't finish the season.
Yeah.
Just because of her mental state or whatever.
Yeah.
That totally the team's going to be like, so fine.
Yeah.
Like, we release you. Like, you just go chill at home. But yeah, it is still weird because like, if she's even close to what she was before, her arrest, like, she's top 5 center in the league.
Yeah, probably the best.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, actually, now that Asia's a center, probably not.
John Quell as well.
Yeah. No, I would put it.
Yeah,
I would have put
right,
Griner ahead of
She's
John
more
Quell.
dominant.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah.
I think that this is last we saw of her, not who she's going to be this year. Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's just like maneuverability for both the team and for Griner.
Yeah.
Like maybe this is the price we think that's fair if you do want to sit out the second half of the season. Also, I reckon there's going to be a long road of like getting back to playing shape for her because she was in detention for how long was it? 9 months.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she wasn't
months,
Yeah. And in a Russian.
I'm sure she was hitting the gym. Shouldn't joke.
But I think her diet probably wasn't the best in the fucking Russian prison.
So I think that if Skylar Diggins-Smith stays, and we don't know if she will, you're thinking she won't.
I don't think she'll stay. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, like the core of this team is really good.
Yeah.
DT, Griner, Sophie Cunningham, Brianna Turner, Shea Petty, probably a good backup. A sixth player. It's coming back. But then they're pretty much like right up against the cap with these two new signings that they've made. Yeah. And I mean, that could be another reason why Griner has signed for 60,000 less than she was eligible for. But yeah, I don't know what the sort of depth of this team is like.
Yeah.
Man. I think they have a really, really strong core. Maybe not good enough to go up against the very best teams in the league. But maybe if Griner is the best center in the league, then I think she could really dominate even against the two super teams. But yeah, I don't know who they can sort of bring in. I don't know or what they can do to improve their depth here.
Yeah. And going back to Skylar Diggins-Smith for a second, I don't recall her 2021 playoff run with them being too good. And now that I have it in front of me, she was shooting 37% from the field, 31% from three. With pretty good numbers to go with them. 14.6 assists. That's pretty good for a point guard in the playoffs. But definitely the other thing is that she just didn't feel like a threat to me. I didn't feel like she was, when the ball was in her hands, that Phoenix were really maximizing their offense. Whereas when Taurasi had the ball on the wing, it was good night. And then when Griner had it anywhere along the lane lines, it was just she was such a presence. Yeah. And she's such a good passer as well from that position. Yeah. So I think maybe, I actually don't think the loss of Diggins-Smith will be as harsh as it seems it would be on paper. Yeah. But I do think that the depth thing is an issue. Yeah. And also there's just so many unknowns with this team. Yeah, definitely. That I think will take 20 games to just figure those out. Yeah. 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 But it'll be really fun. I think that's the main thing. It'll be really nice to watch, these fellas play together again. Yeah. Do you have anything else you want to talk about this?
Did you want to... there's two little things. You want to mention Jade Melbourne?
Yeah, I'd like to mention Jade Melbourne, actually. Also, breaking. So I woke up this morning to an email from the Seattle Storm saying that Jade Melbourne had signed...
Hey, Lucas, what's up? How are you this morning?
That had said that Seattle... Seattle signed Jade Melbourne to a rookie scale contract. Still don't know exactly what that means.
No idea.
I think it's more guaranteed than a training camp contract. Which Anneli Maley is signed to a training camp contract. So a bit more assurance there for Jade Melbourne. But also, I'm on the Seattle Storm fucking media release or whatever. So I think I got access to their press conferences and other media stuff, which is very exciting. And this is my intro to my career at the Seattle Storm. But yeah, a Jade Melbourne signing, that was so cool. That was such a cool thing to wake up to.
You can tell that story in 10 years when you're like, thank you, Seattle. Pleasure reporting for you. For the first piece of Seattle news I ever broke, it was Jade Melbourne signing.
Melbourne-born Jade Melbourne.
Yeah. Yeah, what were the chances? There's one more signing I want to talk to. The Liberty re-signed Han Shu.
Yes.
To add to their insanely stacked roster.
Yeah. This was also to a training camp contract.
Yeah, is that right? It's just a training camp contract. Yeah. Even though, because she played for them last season, but it just wasn't the player we saw at the World Cup. Yeah. And I guess that's just obviously the leap to the WNBA is pretty great. Also, I think if you're a Chinese player playing for China, you play your fucking guts out.
Yeah. And also their center rotation would be Jonquel Jones, Stephanie Dolson, and then probably Stewie would be the third center. So there probably wouldn't be that many minutes for her. No. Although I do like the idea of just having the fucking biggest player in the league.
Yeah. Just even if it's completely situationally, just stick her out there for 8 minutes just to put her hands up.
Yeah.
But I mean, we know she can do so much more than that as
Yeah.
well. But it is that I guess it is that interesting thing again of like we were talking about this with oh my god.
Is it Dante? Is it Sean?
No. When we were talking about I'm having the worst mental block right now.
On another pod.
Yeah.
Right.
What's her name? Plays for the Boomers and the Las Vegas Aces.
Oh my god! No, you gotta get this. I know who it is.
I'm having the worst mental block.
CG.
Oh yeah, Cayla George. Jesus, that is honestly like I'm sick, man. When like there's a player who you know has such like a refined, deep skill set. How are they going to get to use it on a team that has like 4 of the best 10 players in the WNBA on it? So it's interesting. Like, I think obviously if you have the opportunity to sign the tallest player in the league to a training camp contract as the New York Liberty, and it can fit in your already like overstuffed salary cap, you do it. But what does Hanshu get to do when she's on the court?
Yeah, because like her strengths are that jump shot from like the mid and short range. But yeah, how many possessions do you want ending in anyone but Stewie, Ionescu, Jonquel Jones taking the shot? Fucking Vandersloot. Maureen Johannes coming off the bench. Benijah Laney's still there. Stephanie Dolson for like trail threes. Yeah, and even their depth chart at centre has Jonquel Jones, Dolson, and they've got Hanshu ahead of Brianna Stewart, but I think that's only because Stewie's the number 1 forward.
Yeah. Speaking of Johannes though, she also hasn't officially signed a contract with New York.
Oh, true.
She's indicated she wants to come back, but it's the same thing that Alamond. She's in the same position where like she might want to focus on being on the French national team. Who, again, will almost certainly be playing at Eurobasket 2023, which will be held in Israel and Slovenia this June.
Just Slovenia.
Oh, is Israel been completely cut off it?
Yeah. Tel Aviv, no longer one of the host cities. Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Well, yeah,
we get more games.
More for us.
Yeah.
So yeah, like there's, I don't think this is either of these signings or non-signings are a problem for New York, but they're like an issue, not a problem. Like, what do you do with Hanshu?
Yeah. All right, well, Marco forgot who Cayla George was, so maybe that's the end of this episode.
Fuck, that's so bad, man.
That's all right, man.
Who's the really fat fellow who plays for the New Orleans?
All right, see y'all.
Bye.